Donald Trump is full speed ahead, destroying everything he can. And a lot of the things he's destroying are big. Some of them are small, but still symbolic, okay? And I wanna talk about one of those right now. It had to do with this. Dan Diamond reported on this, saying a couple of weeks ago, I got a tip. The NIH, the National Institutes of Health, had pulled down a mural of Dr. Fauci, this person had heard. I was able to find sources who confirmed that yes, something had been removed from a wall, but obviously rumors flow around. But they couldn't quite agree on what had been hanging there before. A masked Fauci? Or when it came down. So he did some digging and he found this image. If we go ahead of this, and it was indeed an image of Fauci with a quote that someone, probably in Doge, hated so much that they just tore it right off the wall, leaving bare plaster and stuff with the rest of the mural still together. So they could not bear to see Fauci's face. Obviously, seeing him looking down on you is a reminder that some people did try to stop the spread of COVID while others were surrendering needlessly to protect their political reputations and appeal to conspiracy theorists online. And I understand how that would hurt and burn deep within your soul, but I think they also didn't like the quote underneath it. The quote says this: "Science is telling us that we can do phenomenal things if we put our minds and our resources to it."
That's what they didn't like?
That's it. That's the quote. I mean, you could put up graphic 2 again. That's what the quote says. And they could not bear to read it and tore it down. How dare you say that we can do phenomenal things if we put our minds and resources to it? No, we can't. Or at the very least, no, we shan't. We shan't do that. And I gotta cut it down. Dude, is this like a really bad after school special? Like someone's freaking out over their posters or something? Like you can't take the image? Again, these are the same exact conservative men that have told us for decades now that a woman can never be president because she'd be too emotional. But anyway, they obviously hate Fauci and they have for a very long time. Musk in November called him a freaking demon, saying that he caused COVID because of virus research in China, which is again based on a conspiracy theory that has not actually been confirmed. But even if it was true, what's the difference? We've been told for 5 years now that COVID wasn't that big of a deal. So who cares anyway? It's not even that serious. It's certainly not as bad as the vaccine. And so, look, this is not good. As they're doing all their other damage, I know that people are getting fired. That's more important. The fact that they've cut off the funding for research at the NIH is obviously more important than the mural. But this is some hardcore cult stuff that these images of people that have now been discredited need to be torn down. We can't even take time to put something else up. We just tear it down because we can't take it anymore. This is some dark, weird, cultish authoritarian stuff, Tori. What do you think?
Yeah, it reminds me of Mao going up everywhere. Just the propaganda of visual art is important. And when you take stuff like that down, it's also important. I do want to let you guys know I went as Anthony Fauci for Halloween on DBL and I had a full prosthetic. It wasn't very kind to Dr. Fauci, to be honest, the way I looked, but I hold him in such high regard. And if I were he, I might think about suing because of the November freaking demon comment and me causing COVID. But I do want to tell you what Jamie Raskin, who is my secret crush, to be super honest, representative from Maryland, went to my high school. He said this is the kind of treatment that scientists get when totalitarian societies like Stalinist Russia, when the scientists don't go toe to toe on the line of the leaders. And it's so true. I've always said that. If you want to look at things like Trump when he says, don't trust the scientists, don't trust the doctors, don't trust the media, don't trust anybody but trust me. That is Machiavellian 101. And to be honest, if I were Trump, I might promote the fact that I did Operation Warp Speed and it helped deal with COVID in a good way and handle it. That's a positive thing he did. But instead, no, we're gonna scrub the guy that helped us with AIDS, that helped us with Ebola, that took himself and actually did COVID when he didn't need to. And we're gonna scrub him down. It's foolish and it's silly. And it's like me tearing down a Jonathan Taylor Thomas poster because I'm over him. Let's be adults and understand. But JT squared forever.
Yeah, and oddly enough, he's one of the few celebrities I've actually been to a party with, and he still seems like a great guy. So leave the posters up.
Agree.
But anyway, yeah, no, you're totally right. Jamie Raskin is right. This is bizarre totalitarian stuff.
It's imagery, right? It's like propaganda in the visual arts.
They'll put up a Trump.
For sure.
In place of it. But yeah, you can't trust teachers, you can't trust the academics, you can't trust the doctors, you can't trust the judges, you can't trust literally anyone except for, I guess, Alex Jones and RFK Jr.
That's
You
it.
can trust them, I guess.
Trust
and then that's
me.
it.
That's
Yeah,
my
that's
RFK.
like a and then you chew on some roadkill brain.
I need a whale.
No, that's not like, I'm not saying that like Fauci's the best person that's ever lived or whatever, but like there's a reason that his face was up. He had worked there for 5 decades.
Yeah, under many
and had
presidents.
done good work.
Yeah, and it gave a lot of people hope to look at that poster and realize they had a leader. And to take that down is to deny them some morale, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like you pointed out, he did warp speed, which I think we can only give him so much credit.
Yeah,
Literally
right.
anybody who was president at that time would have funded vaccines. That's like
Right.
the lowest bar possible, but he did it. And that was honestly one of the most amazing moments in the whole Trump thing, is him doing the right thing.
Right.
And then he looks out and he's like, oh, the conspiracy theorists on Instagram and Twitter have decided that COVID's not a big deal.
Right.
Screw it. Let's not do the testing anymore.
Right.
And a couple rallies, I made the vaccine, boo. And then he stops talking about it. Like he was captured by his audience.
That's right. It's the litmus
which is just
test.
really sad.
Yep.
I think a real man in this case, to appeal to him in the language of like a Joe Rogan, would have stood up and been like, no, screw all of you and your conspiracy theories. I saved lives, okay?
Amen.
I knew that I would be attacked if I did it, but I did it anyway.
That's
because
right.
I care about these people. But no, instead he just whimpered and shriveled up a little bit. And now he's like, well, maybe you don't need to be vaccinated. I'll give you RFK Jr. It's pathetic.
Oh boy, let's not take that as a trade.
Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.